Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The Blue Devils welcome into town the Seward County Community College Saints as we have a three-game best 2 out of 3 playoff coming up today, tomorrow, and Saturday if needed. So we will have baseball 1 o'clock 3 days in a row, possibly for sure 2 days in a row. Let's meet the starting lineups very quickly to get this thing started. Welcome for those of you that have joined me already. Thank you for that. The Seward Saints leading off. The shortstop, Nathan Hopkins. Batting second, the second baseman, Todd Baffa. Batting third in left field, Cameron Cartwright. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, R. Wakui. Batting fifth, Mason Hagelpit, the third baseman. Batting sixth, Keegan Pitton in right field. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Caden Juarez. Batting eighth, the catcher, Mason Gilbert. And the center fielder will bat ninth, Connor Rainey, with Tyler Wilcox on the mound. So it'll be Hopkins, Baffa, Cartwright, Wakui, Hagelpit, Pitton, Juarez, Gilbert, Rainey for the Seward Saints. Now the starting lineup for the KCK Blue Devils, leading off the second baseman, Peyton Basler. Batting second, the shortstop, Gary Goldbeck. Batting third, the catcher, Brady Patterson. Batting fourth in cleanup, the first baseman, Jace Woida. Batting fifth and in left field, Freddie Nolan the fourth. Batting sixth in right field, Marcus Dirks. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Jackson Mervosh. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Austin Burrows. Batting ninth, the center fielder, Brady Kern. And on the mound for the Blue Devils, McLean Finley. So it'll be Basler, Goldbeck, Patterson, Woida, Nolan the fourth, Dirks, Mervosh, Burrows, and Kern for the Blue Devils with McLean Finley on the mound. We'll be back with the start of this one here in about 14 minutes. Welcome. All right, welcome everyone to the broadcast. Ready to get going here. The Blue Devils send McLean Finley to the mound to start off this best 2 out of 3 against the Seward Saints, who have traveled here for a best 2 out of 3 to see who goes to, I believe it's regional. I don't know if it's called super regional, but nonetheless, the right to go to play in the tournament to see who goes to Grand Junction, Colorado in a couple of weeks. And this best 2 out of 3 will set the stage for the Wichita playoff to see who goes to the games for the national championship games in Grand Junction, Colorado. Hopkins, Baffa, and Cartwright will start things off for the Seward Saints. Hopkins will step in. Hopkins starts the day batting .356. First pitch to him, inside corner at the knees for a strike. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for joining me. Sunshiny day, light breeze blowing out toward right field. That's outside and low. 1-1 the count. On the shortstop, Nathan Hopkins. There's a strike right through there outside half of the plate. Nolan the fourth, Kern and Dirks left to right across the outfield. Burrows, Goldbeck, Basler, Woida across the infield. Patterson behind the plate. That's the defense behind McLean Finley. It's way outside, 2-2 the count. Finley is from Topeka, Kansas. He has a 2.30 ERA and a 10-2 record. There's a ball headed into right field, shallow right field. Basler will come over and take care of that for the first out of the game.
Next up, the second baseman, number 8, Baffa.
That's going to bring up Baffa. Baffa will step in with 1 out, nobody on. Baffa starts the day batting .299. He'll step in. Nobody on base, 1 out. Foul ball going to get out of play over behind the dugout of the Seward Saints. On the second baseman, Baffa. There's a strike called so quickly. 0-2 the count. Foul ball out in front of that one. Over by the coach's box. Just to the right as we look at it of the third base coach for the Saints. We'll do the 0-2 again. Top of the first inning action. That's going to just get out of play. So we'll do the 0-2 for the third time. Sunshiny day, great day for ball, mid-70 degree day. Foul ball back and out of play. So 0-2 the count. Stays up high. 1-2 the count. Not often with an 0-2 count do you get 3 or 4 straight foul balls, because typically the pitcher and the catcher are calling for something outside of the zone. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Cartwright.
Now
Cameron Cartwright steps in. He'll be in there with 2 outs. He starts the day batting .353. It's the left fielder. Inside part of the plate, swinging at that. Came up empty. 0-1 the count. Cameron Cartwright at the plate. There's a strike at the belt outside half of the plate. So quickly 0-2 the count. Finley ahead of Cartwright, the left fielder. There's strike 3 called. Breaking ball catches the outside corner at the belt. So a pop out, a strikeout, and a punch out, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. How you doing, mister? You got the laptop set up and doing your work? Oh, you're the man. I don't care what anybody says. You know, the other day when somebody won the Powerball, I didn't buy that day. That should have been me. Son of a bean dip, another Frito. Probably. Yeah, I don't buy them. Gotcha. What? Yeah. Not sure if I'll broadcast because I don't know what's happening there for sure yet, but we'll talk. All right, to the bottom of the first inning we go. Peyton Basler will step in for the Blue Devils. He'll face Tyler Wilcox on the mound for Seward. Takes a strike 1 called. Wilcox is from Aurora, Colorado. That's outside. Wilcox has a 5.24 ERA with a 5-5 record. Basler starts the day batting .317, 2-1 the count on him. Peyton Basler, second baseman for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be a leadoff base hit for Basler. That's going to bring up Gary Goldbeck. Goldbeck starts the day batting .422. Cartwright, Randy Pitton across the outfield. Hagel, Pitt, Hopkins, Baffa, and Juarez across the infield with Gilbert behind the plate. We'll toss over to first. Nothing going on over there. Attempt to bunt and foul. 1-1 the count. Bottom of the first inning action. 3 up, 3 feints. Leadoff hitter Basler with the base hit into center field his first time. He's at first. Another toss over to first. Back in safely is Basler. Basler with 25 stolen bases. And there he goes. And a base hit into right field. See if that's going to be extra bases. Coach going to hold him at third. So back-to-back base hits by Basler and Golbeck. And the Blue Devils are in business.
32, Brady Patterson.
That's going to bring up Brady Patterson. Patterson will step in with 2 on, nobody out. He starts the day batting .314. He'll step in with runners at the corners and runners with good speed at those corners. There's a ball headed to left. Could be out, but it isn't. It's off the wall, though. Extra bases, 1 run in. So Patterson takes the first pitch and drives it up against the wall in left field for an RBI.
First baseman, number 23, Jace Woida.
That's going to bring up Woida. Woida, the first baseman. Woida starts the day batting .398. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Way outside. Trickles away just a little bit from Gilbert, but not enough for the runners to move. Want to know the count on Woida. That's down low. 2-0 the count. Comes the stretch and the 2-0. There's a ground ball at the second baseman, Baffa, and the ground out yields a run. So Woida with a nice job of hitting the ball to the right side, getting the run scored. Nicely done for the second run of the game. That's going to bring up Fred in the fourth, the left fielder. He starts the day batting .323. He'll step in with 1 out and a runner at third. That's low and outside for ball 1. Runner at third is Patterson. He had an RBI double off the left field wall, his at bat. There's a foul ball. Now, being kind of an old crabby guy about that, Coach Golbeck stepped out and fielded that ball. If the ball on the next bounce had come back fair, it would have been a fair ball. Now, you wouldn't expect it to do that. There's a base hit into left field by Nolan the fourth. So back to back to back RBI for the Blue Devils. So a 3-0 lead now. That's going to bring up Marcus Dirks. Dirks will be up there. He starts the day batting .393. He's up there with a runner at first and 1 out. Squares to bunt, sends it back into the screen over by the dugout. Runner over at first is Nolan the fourth. Marcus Dirks, the right fielder, at the plate. That misses a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the first. Way high and outside by Tyler Gilbert right there. Nice job of keeping that from going back to the screen, did Gilbert. 2-1 the count now. There's a foul ball back to the screen, evens out the count. 2-2. Foul ball down the left field line. That's going to be over in the workout area of the Blue Devils. We'll do the 2-2 again. Blue Devils have plated 3 so far here in the inning. 3 runs on, 3 hits. That misses outside. Actually, that would be 4 hits the Blue Devils have. We Basler, Goldbeck, then Patterson, then a ground out, then Nolan the 4th with a base hit as well.
Is that 4 hits? No. Basler, Goldbeck, Patterson, and Freddie.
The only out so far in the inning is the ground out by Woida that yielded a run as well. There's a ball headed into right center, and heading over to third base is Nolan the 4th. And Nolan the 4th is going to be out at third for the second out. So Dirks with the double. I didn't think it would be, but it may have been that plow he was pulling or the wheelbarrow he was pushing. Not sure which it was, but trying to make some things happen, you have to make a good throw, and the center fielder, Rainey, made a good throw, so they did make the play there. That's Mervosh at the plate. He's the designated hitter today. Mervosh starts the day batting .335. Swings through that pitch, so 1-1 the count. Dirks at second base. 2 outs now. Mervosh at the plate. That's a little bit low. 2-1 the count. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And inside for 3-2 the count now. There's a ball headed into right field. Nice job of hitting right there. And an RBI single to right field for Mervosh. So did a nice job taking the pitch on the outside corner and just going with it and slapping it to right field. So the Blue Devils now with 4 runs. It's going to bring up Austin Burrows. Burrows starts the day batting .214. He'll be up there with a runner at first base and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Little breaking ball right there for a swing and a miss. Runner at first base is Mervosh. Burrows is at the plate, and he stroked a base hit to right field. So the runners now at first and second. So that will bring up Brady Kern. We're going to get a visit to the mound as Kern is scheduled to come out. The Blue Devils with 4 runs. Runners at first and second, 2 out. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back. right, visit to the mound is over. Brady Kern will step in. He's the ninth hitter to come to the plate this inning for the Blue Devils. Kern starts the day batting .320. That's down a little bit low, 1-0 the count. There's a strike call, 1-1 the count. Mervosh at second base. Burrows at first. There's a ball headed into deep center field. It's going deep, and it's going to be at the warning track. And 2 runs will score on the double to dead center field by Brady Kern. So 2 more RBI, making it 6. So back to the top of the order, and Basler will step in. Basler is from Lansing, Kansas. He led this whole affair off with a base hit to left center his first time. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. So Kern drives one to the wall in dead center for 2 more RBI. And Basler's going to have another base hit and headed into second base. So Basler hits it to left center and plates another plate. So 7 runs in the inning. That's going to bring up Goldbeck. He had a base hit to right field his first time up. He is from Kansas City, Kansas. There's a strike inside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count. Goldbeck at the plate. That's in the dirt, nicely blocked by Gilbert. One ball, one strike. Comes the pitch. There's a ball headed at the shortstop. Hopkins is up with that. And over to Juarez for the 6-3 ground out. So the Blue Devils plate 7 in the bottom half of the first. They do that on 9 hits. We go to the top of the second inning. Blue Devils leading 7-0. I'll be back. Stay with me and enjoy a sunshiny day on the campus of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils. What's that? What's that? Uh-huh. All right, to the top of the second inning we go. That's going to bring up Kataro Walker. He will step in to face. That's up a little bit high. step in to face Finley. He starts the day batting .391. There's a strike outside half of the plate at the waist. 1-1 the count, top of the second inning action. So ground ball headed to the right side. Basler's up with that. And the turn, the pivot, and the one-hopper to Woida for the 4-3 ground out in shallow right field.
Next up, the third baseman, number 5, Mason Hagel-Pitt.
That's going to bring up Hagel-Pitt, the third baseman. He starts the day batting .315. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. 0-1 the count. That's up high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mason Hagel-Pitt at the plate, the third baseman for the Saints of Seward. There's a breaking ball, and he fouls that back over to the soccer field. 1-2 the count. Foul ball just wide at third base down there. One and two the count. That's a little bit low and outside. 2-2 the count now. And there's a swing through that high breaking ball, top part of the zone for the strikeout.
Now batting the right fielder, number 6, Keegan Pitton.
That's going to bring up the right fielder, Pitton. It's a high fly ball to left field, deep, just short of the warning track, and takes care of that. Does Freddie Nolan, the fourth. Pitton started the day batting .283. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Blue Devils lead it 7-0. All right, to the bottom of the second we go. Patterson, Woida, and Nolan the fourth scheduled up. Patterson is from Auburn, Kansas. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. Patterson had an RBI double off the wall in left field his first time up. There's a high chopper to Hagel-Pitt. Hagel-Pitt over to Juarez for the 5-3 ground out. That'll bring up Woida.
That brings up the first baseman, number 23, Jace
Wojda is from Lincoln, Nebraska. He grounded out his first time up and yielded a run by pulling a ground ball to the right side. He did yield a run. 0-1 the count on him after that. Foul ball way out in front of that pitch. There's a base hit slapped right through the hole in to left field. So he'll be at first with one out. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. Nolan the fourth is from Fort Worth, Texas. He had an RBI base hit to left field his first time up. There's a ball headed down the right field line. And that's going to be off of the wall. The nice job of the right fielder Pitton to try and make the play over there. But he and the wall and the ball all got to the same place at the same time. And that's going to be a double. So that'll bring up Marcus Dirks. Dirks will step in with one out and runners at second and third. Dirks is from Kansas City, Kansas. He had a double his first time up. Fouled that back into the screen. 0-1 the count on the right fielder, Marcus Dirks. Game one of a 3-game series today, tomorrow, and Saturday, if needed, all at 1 p.m. There's a one-hopper and coming to the plate, and now we're going to end up with 2 runners on third. Oh, Freddie, you should stay there. So Freddie Nolan will be out. That is, we were going to have 2 there anyway, and it would have been Nolan, I believe, that would have been out if both had been on the base at the same time. So Dirks reaches on a fielder's choice and 1 out.
Now up the designated hitter number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
So that'll bring up Mervosh now with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Mervosh fouls that into the screen. Mervosh is from Lenexa, Kansas. 0-1 the count on him. There's a ball headed into right field. And that's going to be taken care of by Pitton for the third out of the inning. So the Blue Devils get no runs on 2 hits in that inning. And we go to the top of the third. Blue Devils leading 7-0. All right, to the top of the third we go. Caden Juarez will step in. Juarez starts the day batting .253. Takes a ball low and outside. 1-0 the count. Finley back for his third inning of work. There's a foul ball, a high heater, fouled back and out of play. So 1-1 the count. As the first baseman, Caden Juarez, leads off the top of the third for the Seward Saints. It's a high chopper at Goldbeck. He backhands it and shoots it over to Woida for the 6-3 ground out for the first out of the inning.
Up next, the catcher, number 35, Mason Gilbert.
That's going to bring up the catcher, Mason Gilbert. Gilbert starts the day batting .264. Foul ball back to the screen. 0-1 the count on Gilbert. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mason Gilbert at the plate. 1 out, nobody on. It's another ground ball to Goldbeck, and Goldbeck is going to have the ball pop out of his glove, and that's going to be an error on Goldbeck, I am sure. So an E6. That's going to bring up Connor Rainey. He's the center fielder. Rainey starts the day batting .282. Low and outside in the dirt, blocked by Patterson. Rainey's up there with 1 out and 1 on. Swing and a miss of that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on for the Saints here. They'll toss over to first. Going over there. Back in easily is the catcher, Gilbert. It's a ground ball headed at Goldbeck. He'll underhand to Basler and over to first base. So Goldbeck to Basler to Woida for the 6-3 ground out to take away the runner from the air. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Blue Devils leading 7-0. Still leading. I mean, I didn't know what the score was earlier. All right, to the bottom of the third we go. Austin Burrows will be up. He's from Pickrell, Nebraska. He had a base hit to right field his first time up. There's another ball headed into right field. That's going to be a base hit. And started to think a little bit about going to second. Probably a wise choice as Pitton was over to get it quick and send it back in. That's going to bring up Kern. Kern is from Lawrence, Kansas. He'll be up there with a runner at first base and nobody out. Bottom of the third inning action. Blue Devils leading. There's a Fly ball going to make it into the workout area down there. Owen won the count on Kern.
Struck him out. Final.
Foul ball back to the screen so quickly. 0-2 the count on Kern. Kern had a 2 RBI double into center field, dead center field, and bounced up against the wall. 0-2 the count on Kern, the center fielder. High and inside. 1-2 the count. It's going to be down the right field line and out of play. 1-2 the count. Tyler Wilcox from Aurora, Colorado, hooked up in a battle here with Brady Kern. Toss over to first, back in safely is Burrows. Another toss over. One and two the count. Kern at the plate. Burrows at first. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back to the top of the order and Basler.
Now up to second baseman number 2, Peyton Basler.
Basler will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Basler has a single and an RBI double in this one. Single in the first, RBI double in the second. Swinging a foul into the glove of Gilbert. 0-1 the count. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. The ball hit it just deep enough to get into right field. So Basler 3 for 3 headed into second base. So I don't know if that'd be scored a double. I look down or just a single and move up on a.
Move up on an air. I couldn't see it. Up next, shortstop number 4, Gary Goldbeck.
That's going to bring up Goldbeck.
How did he get to second? Did he ball it? Did he move up?
Goldbeck will step in. A little bit of a decision to make here if that's going to be a single or a double. So a single, it is ruled. There's a strike to Goldbeck. Goldbeck has a base hit in the first and a ground out in the first to the shortstop, Hopkins. Swing and a miss of that pitch, so 0-2 the count. Burrows at third. Basler at second. Goldbeck at the plate. 0-2 the count on him. The ball hit it at the shortstop, a little bobble, and he's going to be safe. So that's going to be an error on the shortstop. So both shortstops have committed errors that allowed runners to get on.
That brings up the catcher, number 32, Brady Patterson.
That'll bring up Patterson.
22? Yeah.
Patterson had an RBI double in the first, grounded out to Hagelpit at third in the second. That's down a little bit low. 1-0 the count. Runners at first and third. The catcher, Patterson, at the plate. That's high and inside. 2-0 the count. There's a line drive into left center. And coming to third, going to be safe at third. So an RBI base hit for Patterson.
Now batting the first baseman, number 23, Jace Woda.
That's going to bring up Woida. Got the first RBI in this inning. Was it on the play where he moved? Going to get a visit to the mound, possibly a pitching change here. We'll be back after a bit. Blue Devils leading 9-0. Bottom of the third inning action. Pitching change is being made by the Saints. Number 2, TJ Newman, will come to the mound. He is from Chagrin Falls, Ohio. He has a 7.57 ERA and a 6-6 record on the year. The Blue Devils lead at 9-0. Each team with an error. The Saints, no runs on no hits and an error. The Blue Devils scored 7 in the first, 2 so far here in the third for 9 runs on, 14 hits, and also 1 error. 1, 2, 3, yes, 14. So the pitching change has been made. Woida will be back to the plate for his third at bat. He grounded out to the second baseman and had an RBI on that, and then had a base hit into left field his second time up. So Woida will step in. He's the first baseman. It's a high fly ball into left field, and that's going to be taken care of by the left fielder. That's going to be a sac fly by Woida. That's taken care of by Cartwright. Throw not in time to get the runner at home. So a sac fly by Woida. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. Blue Devils now with 10 runs, 3 runs so far here. 2 outs now. Nolan the fourth at the plate. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner. Nolan the fourth had an RBI base hit in the first. Then he had a double in the second. was tagged out. There's a ball headed to deep left field, not as deep as I thought it was going to be. And that's taken care of by Cartwright for the third round out of the inning. So the Blue Devils get 3 runs on 3 hits, and we go to the top of the 4th inning. Blue Devils leading 10-0. So to the top of the 4th inning, we go back to the top of the order. Hopkins, Baffa, and Cartwright will be scheduled up. Hopkins is from Parker, Colorado. Swinging a miss. That first pitch, he popped out to Basler in shallow right field his first time up. He's up there as he leads off the top of the 4th for the Seward Saints. That misses outside, 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. That's a little bit low, 2-1 the count. Was out in front swinging there and fouls that away. 2-2 the count. Nathan Hopkins, the shortstop. Another foul ball off the hands of one of the guys in the dugout for KCK, and it popped up on top of the dugout area. Comes the 2-2. Just misses a little outside. 3-2 the count. Comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. That'll bring up Baffa. That brings up Baffa. He's from Keller, Texas. He'll step in to face Finley his second time. He struck out his first time up. There's a breaking ball, just caught the upper part of the inside part of the strike zone for strike 1 called. Was that ball headed deep into left field? It is going to be a foul ball. It was deep enough, but wasn't between the poles, was that pitch by Todd Baffa. So a long, loud, almost home run strike right there. Nolan the 4th, Kernan, Dirks left to right across the outfield. Burrows, Goldbeck, Basler, and Moida across the infield with Patterson behind the plate and McLean Finley on the mound. There's a ground ball right back up the middle. Basler over to grab it, but not a throw being able to be made. So Baffa gets a base hit right back up the box, through the box. So the runner at first base, that's going to bring up Cartwright. Cartwright is from Parker, Colorado. It's a toss over to first. Nothing going on over there. Cartwright was called out on the strikes his first time up. Just a little bit high and outside. 1-0 the count. There's a ground ball headed at Goldbeck. He underhands it to Basler, and Basler on over to Woida for another 6-4-3 double play. So 1 run, no runs on 1 hit, and then the 6-4-3 erases the hit. And we go to the bottom of the 4th with the Blue Devils leading 10-0. All right, here we go to the bottom of the 4th. Blue Devils leading 10-0. TJ Newman back for another inning of work. Dirks, Mervosh, and Burrows scheduled up. There's a strike outside corner. Dirks had a double in the first, and in the second he reached on a fielder's choice, where we ended up a little rundown, and Nolan the 4th was tagged out. 1-1 the count. Bottom of the 4th inning action, scheduled 9-inning game. First of a 3-game series. Best 2 out of 3 will go to Wichita to play in the regional to go to Grand Junction, Colorado for the World Series. There's a base hit right up the middle. So Dirk's 2 for 3 with a couple of hits, a double and a single. That's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Mervosh had an RBI base hit his first time up and then flew out to right field his second time. That's outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. On the designated hitter, Jackson Mervosh. Runner goes and is going to be safe with the stolen base is Dirks. So now down at second base. It's nice when you've got the good speed that can steal bases to where you don't have to do the sack bunt. 1-1 the count on Mervosh. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. Baffa up with it and over to Juarez. So a nice job of hitting a hard ground ball to get the runner over to third by Mervosh. So 1 out and a runner at third now. That's going to bring up Burrows. Burrows has a base hit in the first and a base hit in the third. There's a ball headed into deep right field. It's going to send Pitton back to the warning track and a sac fly. Nicely done by Burrows. Going to be a sac fly and make the total 11 now.
Center fielder number 6, Brady Kern.
It's going to bring up Kern. Kern will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. He had a 2 RBI double in the first, and then in the third he struck out. He bent down to keep that from hitting him, just about left the bat up there for a foul ball, but nonetheless 1-0 the count. There's a strike right through there by Newman. Newman came on in relief of Wilcox in the third with nobody out, so he took over in the third. 2-1 the count, 2 outs on the center fielder, Brady Kern. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning action. There's a ball in the dirt. 3-2 the count now. No runs on 1 hit and an error for the Saints. 11 runs on 15 hits and an error for the Blue Devils. Comes the 3-2, and that's inside. Believe it hit him, so that's a hit by pitch. He was going to first either way. So a 2-out hit by pitch, and we're back to the top of the order. And Basler has a base hit in the first, an RBI double in the first, and then a base hit in the third. There's a strike on the outside corner. See if he can stay hot. He gets another pitch on the outside corner. He'll slap that thing right to left field. Foul ball backing out of play, so quickly 0-2 the count. TJ Newman ahead of Peyton Basler, the second baseman of the Blue Devils. Runner goes. Pitch is taken high. That's going to be a stolen base and headed over to third. And we'll see if the ball's in the dugout. So he moves to third, and he's going to move up to home on the overthrow. So Kern scores on a couple of throwing errors. 1-2 the count now on Basler. There's a curveball, breaks low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in the inning so far for the Blue Devils. They lead 12-0 here in the 4th. There's a ball just past the diving first baseman Juarez, and Basler continues his base hit assault on this game with 4 for 4, 3 base hits and a double. The double for an RBI. So that'll bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck has a base hit in the first, a ground out in the first, reached on an error. A run scored on that error. 2 outs now, runner at first. Way high and outside is that first pitch to Goldbeck. Juarez holding Basler at first. 1-0 the count. There's a high fly ball to right field, and the first baseman not able to see it, and it's a home run as well. The right fielder, never was able to see it, and that is a 2-run home run by Goldbeck. He got it up in the sun, and Pitton never did see it, but it left the yard for the home run. So that's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. So Basler with the 2-out base hit and Golbeck with the 2-out home run. And there's a line drive into left field. That's going to be a base hit by Patterson. So Patterson continues the hits with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Wojda. Wojda has an RBI on a ground out, then a base hit, then an RBI on the sac fly. He'll step in with 2 outs and Patterson at first base. That's low and inside. 1-0 the count. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Won the count on Wojda. Wojda, the first baseman. Way outside. 2-1 the count. Jace Wood at the plate. He's the first baseman. Patterson down at first after his 2-out base hit. That's low and inside. So 3-1 the count on Jace Wood. Comes the 3-1. That's low and outside, so a base on balls to Wojda. That's going to bring up Freddie Nolan the fourth. Going to get a visit to the mound. When we come back, Blue Devils lead 14-0. Bottom of the fourth, 2 runners on, 2 outs with Freddie Nolan coming to the plate. All right, the wisdom has been imparted to T.J. Newman. Cartwright, Rainey, Pitt, and across the outfield. Hagel, Pitt, Hopkins, Baffa, and Juarez across the infield. There's a strike called. With Gilbert behind the plate, 0-1 the count on Nolan the fourth. He's had an RBI base hit, a double, and a fly out to left field to Cartwright. There's a strike right at the belt on the outside corner. So quickly, 0-2 the count on Nolan the fourth. Nolan the fourth stretches out his stride and will shorten up his swing for this 0-2 pitch from Newman. Foul ball headed over to the right side. That's going to get out of play.
And then we got a message on Twitter that somebody was impersonating somebody online that they were talking crap.
0-2 the count again.
And one of them was like, oh, so the kid who was talking all the crap during the game, talking about was the center fielder who went 1-8.
That foul ball gets out of play. So we'll do the 0-2 again. 0-2 the count, but we're getting prepared here for the fifth pitch of the at-bat. Comes the stretch and the 0-2. The high fly ball to left field coming on hard is the left fielder, and no one able to find it. So the ball gets up in the sun, and Nolan the fourth with a double on a high fly ball into left center. And that's going to score one more run. The ball gets up in that sky with the sun, and it's tough to find that ball. That's going to bring up Dirks. So the Blue Devils sending player 10 to the plate. 5 runs in the inning.
He's coming back tomorrow.
Is he hurt?
No, he got injected.
Oh, that's right.
That's going to be out of play down the left field line.
Oh, that was that.
0-1 the count.
If it would have been post, it's like 3 or 4 games. What did he do again?
He didn't even.
0-1 the count. Runners at second and third. 2 outs.
Right before Frankie got ejected, Derek said something to the umpires. He was walking off the field. So the umpires.
0-1 the count.
It's what?
0-1 the count. One and one the count. Runners at second and third. Dirks at the plate. There's a strike inside corner at the waist. Dirks has a double, reached on a fielder's choice, and then a base hit and a stolen base. 1-2 the count. That stays outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Sunshiny day on the campus of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils. They are hosting a best 2 out of 3 series to go to Wichita for the next round of this tournament, and a swing and a miss for the strikeout. To the top of the 5th inning, Blue Devils leading 15-0. I'll be back. All right, here we go to the top of the 5th inning. It's going to bring up Wakui. There's a ground ball headed over toward Basler. He's out into shallow right field and up with it. And Katoro Wakui, the designated hitter, is out on back-to-back ground outs into shallow right field. That's going to bring up Hagel Pitt. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Mason Hagelpitt, the third baseman, struck out his first time up. He's up there with 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out now. Blue Devils with a commanding lead here, 15-0 here in the top of the 5th. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be a base hit. 1 hops up to the left fielder, Nolan the 4th for the base hit.
Now up to right fielder number 6, Keegan Pittman.
It's going to bring up Pittman. Pittman steps in with 1 out and 1 on. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner. Keegan Pitton, the right fielder, flew out to Nolan, the fourth, in left his first time up. That's outside. A little bit over through there did Finley. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Each team with 1 error. There's a ground ball headed it. Go back 6, 4, 3, but the throw from Basler Poiswold off. Had an opportunity for our third 6-4-3, but instead we'll get a fielder's choice on a 6-4 ground out.
First baseman number 11, Caden Juarez.
That's going to bring up Juarez. He grounded out to go back his first time up. Two outs now. There's a ball headed into right field, and on the fly, Dirk takes care of that. So no runs on 1 hit for the Saints, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 15-0. All right, to the bottom of the 5th we go. Back to the mound is Newman for the Saints. Mervosh, Burrows, and Kern scheduled up for the Blue Devils. That's a little bit low, 1-0 the count. Mervosh has an RBI base hit in the first, a fly out in the second, and a ground out to Baffa at second base his last time up. That's going to be an infield hit right there for Mervosh. The ball gets in between Hopkins with a chance, but not a good chance, so an infield hit.
Next up at third baseman number 7, Austin Burrows.
That's going to bring up Burrows. Burrows will step in with nobody out and a runner at first base. The runner at first is the designated hitter, Mervosh. That ball drops a little bit low inside. 1-0 the count. Foul ball backing into the net. Couldn't catch up to that heater by T.J. Newman. Newman is from Chagrin Fall, Ohio. He came in relief of Tyler Wilcox. 1-1 the count. There's a ball headed into right center and taken care of by the right fielder, Pitton. I thought it was going to be down. Shouldn't have looked away, I guess. So a fly out.
Number 6, Brady Kern.
That's going to bring up Kern. Kern will step in with a runner at first base and 1 out now. It's a foul ball backing out of play. So 0-1 the count on Brady Kern. Kern has a double in the first for 2 RBI. Then a strikeout in the third and was hit by a pitch in the fourth. There's a ball headed into left field, so a base hit to left field. And Mervosh moves up to second. Back to the top of the order. Basler has 3 base hits and a double. Has 4 base hits, 3 singles, and a double. The double was for an RBI.
We'd
1-0 the count.
We definitely scored. We beat someone 23 to something.
Yeah, but did they pass the 5th inning?
That's down low. 2-0 the count. Discussion up here in the press box is on the run rule. I believe it to be the only run rule is 10 after 7 in the 9-inning game. So we'll see. There's a strike right at the belt, right down the middle. 2-1 the count. Two and one the count. Basler at the plate. That's low and outside. 3-1 the count. Comes the pitch from Newman. Laced that down the right field line, but that's foul. 3-2 the count. Mervosh is at second. Kern at first. Basler at the plate. Comes the 3-2, and that's going to be ball 4. Breaking ball broke inside and low. That's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck will step in with 1 out and the bases full of Blue Devils. Goldbeck has a base hit, grounded out, reached on an error, and a 2-run home run in the fourth. Fouls that one away. 0-1 the count. Go back to shortstop at the plate. There's a strike outside corner at the waist. So quickly 0-2 the count on Goldbeck. Comes the 0-2 from Newman. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. It's the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Patterson.
Now up the catcher, number 32, Brady Patterson.
Patterson is 3 for 4 on the day, a double and 2 singles. And the double was in the first and yielded a run. So an RBI double for Patterson in the first. There's a pitch. And so he takes the curveball off the gluteus maximus for an RBI. And that's going to make it 16. And that's going to bring up Woida.
Number 23, Jace Woida.
Woida will step in with 2 outs and the bases loaded. There's a ball deep to right field. That may be a grand slam, and it is. So Voida with the grand slam over the 394 sign in right center for 4 more runs, and that makes it 20 here in the bottom of the 5th. So 5 runs in the inning for the Blue Devils. That's going to bring up Nolan the 4th. Nolan the 4th has a 3 for 4 day going on. Nolan is going to be called back and give way to a pinch hitter, I believe. Nolan the 4th will head to the dugout, and coming to the plate is going to be Tanner Pachorik.
Sitting to the Blue Devils, number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
Tanner Pachorik will step in here. Pachorik is from Aurora, Colorado. He starts the day batting .277. Second pitch to him is a ball, so 1-1 the count. First pitch is strike. It's a high chopper to the third baseman. Hagel Pitt up with that over to Juarez for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Blue Devils get 5 runs on 4 hits. 5 runs on 4 hits. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Blue Devils leading 20-0. I'll be back. All right, the top of the 6th inning we go. Gilbert and Rainey, and then back to Hopkins at the top of the order. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Gilbert, the catcher, he's from Amarillo, Texas. 0-1 the count on him. There's a strike at the knees right down the middle. 0-2 the count. He reached on an error his first time up. Go back with the error. That's outside. 1-2 the count. Top of the 6th inning action. Best 2 out of 3. 1 game tomorrow, 1 on Saturday if needed. Here comes the 1-2 and the swing and a miss for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Connor Rainey. Rainey hit into a double play his first time out. A 6'4" He's from Pflugerville, Texas. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. Finley in his 6th inning of work. Finley from Topeka, Kansas, on the mound today for the Blue Devils. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. So quickly 0-2 the count on the center fielder, Connor Rainey. Out in front of that, cues it off the end of the bat, foul.
Oh, just texted you. You're in my mind. Thank you.
0-2 the count. High chopper to the left side. Mervosh tries to cut that off and can't come up with it. So that's going to be a infield hit by Rainey.
He's trying to go somewhere to play next year. He had a visit at the zoo, I guess.
So back to the top of the order, and Hopkins. Hopkins has been out on a fly to shallow right field to the second baseman, Basler, and then struck out his second time up. He's up there with a runner at first and 1 out. That's outside for ball one, 1-0 the count. It's a ground ball headed at Goldbeck. He's going to charge hard, go underhanded for Basler, and the return throw over to Woida not in time. So the 6-4 fielder's choice. That's going to bring up Baffa.
Now second baseman, number 8, Todd Baffa.
Baffa, the second baseman, he struck out in the first. Had one of the 3 base hits for the Saints in the fourth. Stays up high, does that pitch. 1-0 the count. Nolan the fourth gave way to Pachorik. Pachorik may be in right, and Dirks may have moved over to left. There's a ground ball at Basler. He's going to be up with it and over to Woida for the 4-3 ground out. So 1 hit but no runs for the Saints. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Blue Devils leading 20-0. Levi Martin will pinch hit for Marcus Dirks. Martin is from Olathe, Kansas. He starts the day batting .303. He will step in to face TJ Newman for the Saints, getting a little bit of paperwork done on the field, as Martin will pinch hit for Dirks. I'm guessing we'll have another pinch hitter for Mervosh, but maybe not. Mervosh has been out for a couple of weeks, and he may feel like he wants to get him another at-bat. There's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. I believe that is Mervosh in the on-deck circle. Yes, it is. 0-1 the count. There's a high chopper at the shortstop. It's going to be cut off by the third baseman. Hagel pit and shoots it on over to Juarez for the high chopper, but a 5-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Mervosh.
Now up to DH, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
Mervosh will step in with one out and nobody on. There's a strike. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. 0-1 the count. There's a hard hit ground ball over to the third baseman. He goes toward the shortstop. Makes a nice play there by Hagel Pitt over to Juarez for a 5-3 ground out. That'll bring up Burrows. Burrows will step in.
Now up to third baseman, number 7, Austin Burrows.
Burrows will step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Burrows is 2 for 4 on the day. 2 for 3 on the day. Had a couple of base hits and a sac fly. His only out was a fly to right field. His sac fly was also to right field. Want to know the count? There's a breaking ball right through there. So a couple of breaking balls by Newman. One catches the outside corner and one right down the middle after the break of the breaking ball. I guess I called that all wrong, huh? So it's 2-1 the count. I thought he called 2 strikes on those first 2 pitches. Let's see what he gives us here. Is he going to be 3-1 or is he going to be 2-2? He's not going to show us. Here comes the pitch. That's inside. There's a strike called. So it is 3-2 the count now. So I did miss one of the balls. I thought he called a strike. So 3-2 the count. And that's way outside for ball 4. So Burrows with the base on balls. We're going to get another pinch hitter here. That's going to be John Kaimi.
Pitch hitting for the Blue Devils, number 45, John Kaimi.
Kaimi is from Kansas City, Missouri. He starts the day batting .375. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner. John Kaimi at the plate. Oh, wonder that didn't get a foul ball right there with the ball that went behind the neck. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first base is Burrows. There's a ground ball. Bounce the high chopper over Coach Goldbeck at third. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball just gets a piece of it, does Kaimi, to stay alive there. There's a base hit into left field off the glove of Hopkins. The diving attempt couldn't quite keep it in the glove. So Kaimi. So that's going to bring up another pinch hitter. Jackson Widener. He's from Wildwood, Missouri. Widener starts the day. He's had 9 at-bats, still looking for his first hit. So be a good place for it right here. Fouls that one back. 0-1 the count. 0-1 the count. We've been back and forth on that all year. There's a fly ball into right field. Coming on hard, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be an RBI base hit by Widener. So Widener with the RBI base hit.
Pitching for the Blue Devils, number 8, AJ Alvarez.
So AJ Alvarez will come on to pinch hit. There's a strike on the inside corner. Alvarez is from Olathe, Kansas. He starts the day also with 5 at-bats, still looking for his first hit. And there's a ball off the glove of the pitcher. So the pitcher gets a hard hit ball by Alvarez. And off of his glove comes with the hit, and he throws it over to Juarez for the out. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. Blue Devils get 1 run there in the bottom of the 6th to make it 21. Whole bunch of runs needed by the Saints. We go to the top of the 2nd. I'll be back. All right, the pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Will Bartkowski comes in. He's from Seneca, Kansas. He has a 2.20 ERA, a 5-1 record. Vaughter is now at first base. So across the outfield, we've got Dirks in left, Kern in. Not Kern, but Kaimi will be in center. And in left is Martin now. Thank you very much. With Widener in right. Across the infield, Burrows, Pachorik now at short. Alvarez at second. And Vaughter. And we also have the catching change. Olson is behind the plate, I believe. Thank you very much. Olson is behind the plate. Cartwright and Wakui and Hagelpit up for the Saints. They've got a lot of work to do. Cartwright is called out on strikes and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. There's a ball just foul down at third base. So 2-2 the count. Top of the 7th inning action, Blue Devils leading 21-0.
2-2 the count. 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 2-2 the
the left fielder, Cameron Cartwright, at the plate. That ball just misses inside. So 3-2 the count. There's another chopper by the coach down at third base of the Seward Saints. We'll do the 3-2 again. There's a base hit right through the hole at third base and short by Cartwright. That'll bring up Wakui. He is grounded out into shallow right field twice to Basler. We'll see if Alvarez get to do the same. That misses outside 1-0. A little surprised they don't have Alvarez a step or two more toward first. That's why. Fly ball into left field, and that's going to land in front of Martin. So he didn't get a good read on that fly ball, probably due to the sun and its positioning. So back-to-back base hits.
Next up to third baseman, number 5, Mason Hagelpitt.
That's going to bring up Hagelpitt, the third baseman. He struck out in the second and had a base hit to left field in the fifth. So 0-1 the count on the third baseman. He made a couple of nice plays in the last couple of innings. Got a good arm over there. There's a ball headed into deep center field. And Kaimi back to take care of that. So that'll move the runner from second to third. So Hagelpitt hits it deep, and Kaimi goes back to take care of that for the first out. And that's going to bring up Keegan Pitton.
Number 6, Keegan Pitton.
Pitton will step in. He's been out on a fly to left and reached on a fielder's choice. There's a hard hit ball at Burrows, and Burrows over to Alvarez and over to Vaughter for the 5-4-3 double play to end this thing. So the Blue Devils take the first game in 7 innings, 21-0. We'll be back here again tomorrow for game 2 at 1 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. I always appreciate you. Thank you. Anyone who would like to make a donation, you go to Forties.com. There's a couple different ways to give there. All donations do go to the broadcast for the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils, and they and I appreciate it. So we'll see you tomorrow about 1 o'clock. Thanks. Have a safe evening.